All right, I think that's a perfect way. That is the perfect way. I don't care about copyright strikes. Darn it, take us down. Take it. Okay, don't take us down, please. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. No. But I think that is the perfect way. A Daniel Bryan reaction thoughts video about him retiring from, I guess we can say, professional wrestling. I think we all, like, in the back of our mind are like, but maybe he's not really going to retire. He's going to go somewhere else, and it's not an Edge situation or a who's the other? That was somebody else in that picture that I saw earlier today. I can't remember who off the top of my head who it was. I sent it to you. I don't know if you remember who it was, but anyway, Daniel Bryan last night on Monday Night Raw announced his retirement in a very emotional speech that started out with him talking about how he cut his hair for charity, which was adorable, and then ended with him being ever so grateful for everything you could ever imagine that he would be grateful for. It was just a touching speech, man. I think it hits you in the heartstrings when you think about it. It really does, because you're like, this really could and probably is it for Daniel Bryan. I know we talked about, maybe it's him trying to get out of the contract, but I just feel like it's one of those things now, after seeing how many people have talked about it, how many, people he's been interviewed about it, even just today, how many people, have, been reacting to it. I feel like it's going to be so hard for him to be like, oh, well, I'm not, retiring anymore. It would be a very Brett Favre-esque moment. So I feel like, it might be something that's truly official. I hope that they do something with him, though. I don't know if they bring him in for commentary, just because he said it himself that he's not the most, charismatic, outgoing guy. But I mean, I even think that's kind of changed, with him ever since he's kind of come into what you could kind of call superstardom. But any thoughts on the speech before we kind of reflect on our thoughts from his career, I suppose?
Oh, it was definitely really emotional. But at the same time, he tried to keep it, happy, not, crying, sad, but, like you said, appreciative of, the opportunities that he's had. I mean, he said he's wrestled, he's been able to wrestle for almost 16 years. And when he said that, I was thinking about, there's guys that, their careers only last, in general, 5-6 years. And he's been able to wrestle for 18 years in multiple promotions, not just WWE. Obviously, WWE was, the goal, the ultimate goal. But I mean, he's was able to wrestle all over the world, for Ring of Honor, for multiple other, indie promotions. So I mean, you never want your career to end, especially at such a young age. But it was cool that he's, appreciative, not just of being able to wrestle, but meeting Bree, all the friends that he's made, the fans and everything like that, which was kind of cool. He didn't focus it just on, in the ring wrestling. He focused it on, what wrestling has given him, which was kind of cool. Most of the time when you hear a retirement speech from wrestling, it's, I'll never be able to come in the ring again. Being in this ring, was everything to me. But he kind of added more to it, I feel like.
I definitely agree. Um, it, let's just go into kind of your first memory of Daniel Bryan. Um, I obviously didn't start watching the Indies until about a year ago now. So I didn't get a chance to see him anywhere else but WWE. I think my first memory of Daniel Bryan was seeing him in NXT, the old NXT, the old school NXT, where it was a kind of a reality show mixed with competition type of a show. And I remember seeing him, and I was like, I want this guy to win. Like, it was like the first time I saw it, I was like, this is the guy. This is the guy I want to win. And ended up getting eliminated first, and I was like, really? Really? He's the best one? I remember myself saying this exact quote. He's the best one. How are you going to eliminate him first? Plus they had Michael Tarver out there, but we're not talking about Michael. We're going to leave Michael out of this. Um, but yeah, that was my first memory of him when he was in NXT, in the little competition portion of NXT. What was your first memory? Because I know you've been more into the Indies before I was. So
I mean, I had seen a couple, like, searching through YouTube. You type in one wrestler or a match or something, and then it'll bring you to another video and another video and another video. And I had seen a couple matches of his that way, but I feel like my first real introduction to him was on NXT. We're kind of getting to know him, getting to know his personality or lack thereof back then. But unfortunately, I have to say I wanted Justin Gabriel to win. I I was a Justin Gabriel fan, but I think that was part of what my initial hatred for Michael Cole was, because Michael Cole was a dick to Daniel Bryan. He was an asshole. Like, he doesn't even have cable. He blah, blah. Shut up, Michael Cole. Shut up. But yeah, he was. I feel like he was just he was the underdog. Like, nobody really, thought he would win. He was kind of the quiet one. He was, had the basic, red tights, and just there wasn't really much that jumped out about him right away. But in the ring, you could tell, he was one of the better ones out of the group.
I agree. I guess because it's kind of hard to go first moment, then the next moment you remember. I think we should go. Maybe any other moments that you can think of. These are probably going to come from the little Raw scenes that I saw on Monday Night Raw more than anything, because that's kind of the stuff you remember him for, is all the stuff they showed tonight. With the Team Hell No stuff was really funny. Dr. Shelby, oh man, Dr. Shelby was an interesting thing they did with him back then. The feud with the Miz, I thought was so good. I loved it. Him getting fired from the Nexus was unfortunate for me. And then obviously you got the WrestleMania moment, which was really big. The Occupy Raw thing was really cool too. I just thought that was a really cool moment, kind of just showing. It was kind of WWE kind of literally showing, how popular he was. As much as WWE tried their best to not believe it and tried their best to take it away. He also had that like 2-second WrestleMania match or something with Sheamus. That's always in the memories for it. Oh man, but I think out of those moments, my favorite moment is obviously the WrestleMania 30 moment. It was just a good moment. It was just, it seemed like it was just perfect for the situation. Obviously, we all feel like they screwed up on that Rumble. We all feel like they were going to screw up with Batista versus Randy Orton, as much as I love Randy Orton. But seeing Daniel Bryan win the title at WrestleMania, and just go out with the S chance. It was just a great way to end that show. I think that was probably my favorite moment from Daniel Bryan's career that I've seen. Casey, any thoughts from any favorite moments from his career, or just moments in general you just remember?
I obviously, the Team Hell No, the Hug It Out stuff was hilarious. There's actually a video on YouTube if you look up the original Hug It Out with Daniel Bryan and El Generico in Ring of Honor, which was pretty funny. But I think one of my favorite more recently was the ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. That was a really good match. And it wasn't for the WWE Championship. It was for that other title that we like, that WWE doesn't care about. That that Daniel Bryan held like a champ and then had to forfeit.
All right, real quick, racist fan says, where did I put the chat? Racist fan says he was hoping for Taker and Bryan at WrestleMania 32 for kind of both of their last matches. That would have been cool. I feel like, but I think we all felt like it wasn't like that last match we saw him. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head anymore, but that last match we saw of him, it didn't even feel like it was his last match. We were expecting, because they're only 34, and just to kind of put that in perspective, R-Truth is 44, and he's still going. And I didn't know R-Truth was that old, but R-Truth is 44.
Yeah, but he's in TNA, man. His mind.
Oh yeah, his mind's going out of. And guys like Christopher Daniels are, Christopher Daniels is 40, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But so obviously,
like,
what?
Ric Flair is like 80.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair's like 80. So he had plenty. If he could have been able to fight off the injuries, he had plenty of time. He could have fought till he was 80. No, but yeah, I just felt like it was really an emotional moment. In the ring, seeing, because we watched Edge, leave. Who was the other guy on that picture? I can't remember off the top of my head who the other guy was in that picture, but I remember, I remember it being really sad. It was Shawn Michaels. That's what it was. Shawn Michaels. I think even Ric Flair's was kind of sad, even though he had been wrestling for so long. I think he gave a retirement speech, after the fact, after that WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels that night. But yeah, it was just it was one of those moments that you probably won't forget. With Daniel Bryan, new hair, kind of new look, kind of going back to his old days a little bit, but still a little bit longer than that. But any more thoughts on Daniel Bryan? Or
it's really emotional, and you almost get mixed feelings because in a way, I feel like as fans we feel a little bit kind of greedy in a way, because there's so many matches that I wanted to see with Daniel Bryan in WWE that unfortunately we'll never get. Rematches from his indie days, because there's so many guys from Ring of Honor now in WWE. There was so many opportunities for matches. I wanted to see him against AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. The list just goes on and on. Finn Balor. There were so many opportunities for amazing matches that they could have had, and unfortunately, there's things that you just can't. I wouldn't want him to risk anything if there is really something wrong, with concussions and things like that. That's something you definitely don't want to, risk, because that, one wrong hit, he could, you could die, you could, and then with his neck issues too, so it's kind of, it's unfortunate. I hope we still do get to see him though, somehow. I hope he does do something still with, WWE, with Bree still being there. I think that would be cool. I don't know necessarily if he would be like commentary, or even still working in NXT with guys. There's a lot of things that he could still pass on to the younger guys in NXT, and not necessarily have to really get in the ring that much. I'm sure he could still get in the ring and kind of, do some submission work with guys, show them how to do submissions and things like that. Obviously he's not going to teach them how to do, a flying headbutt, because, his head, he can't do that. But I think it would be still cool to, be able to see him around, because there's so many guys that, retire and then they kind of disappear. It would be cool to see, even if it's something like Edge, where, we still see Edge, even though he's not in the ring, even though he's not on commentary. He has a new show coming out on the WWE Network with Christian for only $9.99 a month. that I'm excited about. But I mean, I just hope we still get to see him. At the very least on Total Divas. I haven't watched it in like the longest time, so I have no idea what's going on anymore. But it would be cool.
I I agree.
I agree.
It would be cool. I did hear something from another video I was watching today about what was it? It was about somebody was reacting to Danny Bryan retiring, and he was talking about how Danny Bryan could become like a general manager and be like a face general manager instead of the heel authority that we've seen for 5 years. Heel authority we've seen for so long. It feels like he could be like a heel general manager, not a heel general manager, a face general manager for Raw, especially considering he is, very much still over and gonna be over for a while, still afterwards. But I think that would be cool, and that's something where he wouldn't necessarily have to talk all the time. Um, it would be cool if he like kind of, he came in and like we immediately saw a change. We immediately saw something where like, oh, the show starts with a match, or Raw starts with a match instead of starting with a promo, and they were like, oh, it is changing. Maybe that was just the authorities, cloud over over the whole thing, and they could even do something with him still battling with the authority, as far as being a general manager, kind of having that creative control, I guess you could say. That would be kind of cool, or booking control, however we're gonna say it. But I don't know. I just thought there's a lot of possibilities, for Daniel Bryan. I kind of want to see what's going to happen next with him. I wonder if he's going to be, because I feel like he might be on like the WrestleMania pre-show or something like that, just to kind of keep him around, or maybe even Fastlane, that pre-show. But if no more thoughts are to be had, or there to be said, or to be whatever. Anyway, there are no more thoughts. This was a video of with us reacting about Daniel Bryan retiring from professional wrestling. We will see what the future holds for him, and and with every time someone kind of leaves, it kind of opens. As unfortunate as it is, it does open the door for someone else. So let's kind of see who takes a spot in that regard. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that, and make sure you give us a thumbs up. And we'll see you guys. Not on whatever Casey says. We see you guys later.
And don't forget, Bull Dempsey is gone.
I mean, he was, think about it. He was I think he could have took that Daniel Bryan spot. But anyway, we will see you guys later.
He gone.